The Urban Institute is a Washington, D.C.-based think tank that carries out economic and social policy research to open minds, shape decisions, and offer solutions. The Institute receives funding from government contracts, foundations and private donors. The Urban Institute measures policy effects, compares options, shows which stakeholders get the most and least, tests conventional wisdom, reveals trends, and makes costs, benefits, and risks explicit. The Urban Institutue is described as a leading liberal think tank by the Los Angeles Times. History and funding. The Urban Institute was established in 1968 by the Lyndon B. Johnson administration to study the nation's urban problems and evaluate the Great Society initiatives embodied in more than 400 laws passed in the prior 4 years. Johnson hand-selected well-known economists and civic leaders to create the non-partisan, independent research organization. The ranks included Kermit Gordon, McGeorge Bundy, Erwin Miller, R.J. Miller, Richard Neustadt, Cyrus Vance, and Robert McNamara. William Gorham, a former Assistant Secretary for Health, Education and Welfare, was selected as its first president and served from 1968 to 2000. Gradually, Urban's research and funding base broadened. In 2013, federal government contracts provided about 54% of Urban's operating funds, private foundations another 30%, and non-profits, corporations and corporate foundations, state and local governments, international organizations and foreign entities, individuals, and Urban's endowment the rest. Some of Urban's more than 100 private sponsors and funders include the Annie E. Casey Foundation, the Ford Foundation, the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, the Henry J. Kaiser Family Foundation, the Charles Stewart Mott Foundation, and the Rockefeller Foundation. Current initiatives. At any given time 200 or more projects are underway at the Institute. New work includes studies on retirement and aging in America, who pays income taxes, state implementation of the Affordable Care Act, working families and the children, immigrant children in U.S. schools, the cost-effectiveness of crime prevention, and the personal and national challenges of long-term unemployment. The Institute also studies the family, economic, and societal issues faced by prisoners released from prison. Overseas, UI has had projects in 20 countries, providing technical assistance in decentralization, local governance, and service delivery. Many Urban Institute policy centers are recognized as the leading policy institutes in the fields. Organization. Urban Institute staff of approximately 450 works in several research centers and program areas. The Center on Non-Profits and Philanthropy, Metropolitan Housing and Community Policy Center, Health Policy Center, Education Policy Center, Income and Benefits Policy Center, the Center on International Development and Governance, the Justice Policy Center, the Labor, Human Services and Population Center, and the Low-Income Working Families Project. The Institute also houses the Urban Institute Brookings Institution Tax Policy Center, the National Center for Charitable Statistics and Urban Institute Press. In 2010, the Institute conducted research related to all 50 states and roughly 25 countries. Sarah Rosenwortel, a public policy executive and housing markets expert, became the third president of the Urban Institute in February 2012. She succeeded Robert D. Reischauer, a former head of the Congressional Budget Office. Reischauer succeeded William Gorham, founding president, in 2000. Most Urban Institute researchers are economists, social scientists, or public policy and administration researchers. Others are mathematicians, statisticians, city planners, engineers, or computer scientists. A few have backgrounds in medicine, law, or arts and letters. Unique among the nation's largest research organizations, the Institute is 63% female, and 5 of the 10 research center directors are women. As of mid-2011, 27% of the Institute's staff is minority. Board of Trustees. As of 2015, board members are Jamie Gornick, Freeman A. Rybowski III, Jeremy Travis, J. Adam Abram, David Orta, Donald A. Bear, Afsane Beschloss, Erskine Bowles, Henry Cisneros, Joel L. Fleischman, Fernando Guerra, Marnell Levine, Eugene A. Ludwig, N. Gregory Mankiw, Ken Melman, Mary J. Miller, Annette L. Nazareth, Joshua B. Rails, Anthony A. Williams, and Judy Woodruff. Political stance. The Urban Institute has been referred to as independent and as liberal. A 2005 study of media bias in the Quarterly Journal of Economics ranked UR as the 11th most liberal of the 50 most cited think tanks and policy groups, placing it between the NAACP and the People for Ethical Treatment of Animals. According to a study by U.S. News & AMP World Report, most political campaign donations by Urban Institute employees go to Democratic politicians. Between 2003 and 2010, Urban Institute employees made $79,529 in political contributions, of which 0.00% went to the Republican Party.